Welcome back, everyone, to Hockey Talk here on WTOP, the show made by hockey fans for hockey fans. My name is Rob Finger, alongside my good friend Mike DeMars, and we are here to talk hockey. Now, the day that we are all waiting for has come and gone. The season opener for the Oswego State Lakers was this past Saturday, and both Mike and I were present in the building for what turned out to be a phenomenal way to kick off the season. Kings College came up from Pennsylvania wearing their ketchup packet jerseys and took on an almost brand new Oswego Lakers team. We've got all the highlights, so take a look at what went down.
For Kings College,
the Deb was rocking Saturday night as the Oswego State Lakers looked to kick off their season with a splash. We were scoreless through the first, but Matt McQuaid wanted to change that, wraps around, and finds Twine after staring down Matt Bedini in net. 1-0 Lakers less than 30 seconds into the second, but soon Matt McQuaid found some trouble midway through the second. Big rush through center, boom! Mauro D'Alessandro absolutely rocked McQuaid in the head. Both would leave the game. D'Alessandro would be given a 5-minute major, giving the Lakers a power play. And Connor Gatto, the Florida man, tips one in from Travis Baker, making it 2-0 Lakers with 4 minutes still left to go in the major penalty. That'd stay up on the board. Just about 2 minutes later, Travis Baker does his best to keep it in. Calabufo to Gatto, rips one and scores. Connor Gatto putting on a show for the Laker faithful, makes it a 3-goal game, his second of the night. And boy, oh boy, the student section was hyped for that one. 2 goals in 1 power play. We'll head to the third period. Kings College on the rush. Monarchs with speed. Passed across, and Jaden Baldinelli finds the back of the net. Kings College giving us pause for thought, thinking of a comeback, but thankfully for Oswego, their efforts would put our minds at ease. Blocked shot. Gatto steals it away, and here they come on a 2-on-1. Over for a check. Back to Gatto. Shot, scores! The Gator gets his third of the night. Hat trick on a shorthanded goal for Connor Gatto. The Lakers go up 4-1, and they would not look back. Face off in the Monarchs' end. Brandon Cohen will take it off the draw, creeping in close, off the pad. And Colin Vassalo puts it away for the Lakers. The first freshman goal of the year, and the first preseason game of 2 goes to Oswego State Lakers. Final score, 5-1 from the Deb. Connor Gatto with a hat trick. And the Lakers will take victory in their home opener. And a victory, the first time out, is never a bad thing to see, is it, Mike?
No, I got to tell you, that was a great way to open up the season. Doesn't matter if it was an exhibition game. They looked really good, especially for being a team of, comprised of a lot of, freshmen you were telling me before the game starts? Mm-hmm. A lot of freshmen
I believe, if I'm remembering correctly, there was 17 freshmen that are new to this Oswego Lakers team, and that's one of the big things that we wanted to focus on going in, was just how new this team was, and for them to gel the way that they did in that game as well. Oh my goodness, it was phenomenal.
It really showed. I mean, like you said, in the first period, not much was happening, no goals were scored, but the teams, they were so busy fighting each other. They were more focused on ramming each other into the boards and knocking them down than actually getting shots, because it ended up being something like 8-5 shots, something like that.
Yeah, and one of the things that we mentioned as well was the first period was just scoreless. There were so many different hits and collisions and all that sort of physical activity in the first period that first of all, like I said, it's kept the first period scoreless, but as well, the refs were letting a lot of the stuff go.
Definitely, yeah, I noticed that. I was first questioning, are the rules a bit different here in NCAA? Because I'm not really used to NCAA hockey. I'm more used to the like NHL rules. But it's like they were missing a lot of hits that maybe would have been penalties and a lot of stuff. But it's whatever.
One of the interesting NCAA rules that I was informed of, because of Connor Gatto's hat trick, if anybody throws anything onto the ice, whether that be like a hat or like anything else, you get a delay of game penalty on the home team.
That's horrid.
Yeah, no. So you're essentially nixing one of the biggest traditions in hockey when it comes to scoring.
Oh, yeah.
And you're penalizing the home team for it.
That's depressing.
So it's just,
Before we move on, I want to say, if you've ever gone to a live game, make sure you watch out for that little Zamboni guy that's going around. I got one of the shirts.
Yeah,
oh,
Team
yeah,
Mini.
check this out. This is great. I mean, it doesn't fit me. I'm a big guy, so it's a large. I wear extra large. But still, get a shirt, go to the games, please.
Oh, absolutely. The games are about as much fun as you can have here on campus.
Definitely.
Like, it's so much of a spectacle because I've been doing different hockey broadcasts for a long time, whether it be like high school or different places in and around Syracuse. And the atmosphere that was there, they had a pretty packed crowd for it just being a preseason game. And yeah, I know, first game of the season, it's always going to draw, a lot more people to come and cheer on the team. But for it being a preseason game, they had that building 85, 90% filled anyway.
Absolutely.
And it's a stadium that seats 3,000 people. So you think about it. That's a lot of people coming to one college campus to cheer on one college team. It's absolutely amazing to see. And like I said, the biggest crowd that I've ever called a game for. So
why don't we move on to the NHL, Rob?
Oh, absolutely. So, well, hockey fans, don't go away. There's many more games to be played, including round 2 of a matchup that we featured last week on the program. Did it have the same outcome? Well, stay tuned to find out.
Hey there, I'm Al Roker, class of 76. Yes, way back in 76. Back when the earth was cooling. You're watching WTOP.
The Kinda Late Show with Chloe and Anna. Like licorice, Twizzlers, absolutely nasty. The thought of turkey is just nauseating.
I think you're wrong, is what I think.
You think I'm wrong a lot of time.
I do think you're wrong a lot.
When you look at the number of disasters in the U.S., chances are every area will deal with some kind of emergency in the next decade. And between school, sports, and social lives, chances are you won't be with your kids when it happens. Will they know what to do? Ready.gov/kids has the educational tools and information to make the conversation easy. When the time comes, chances are they'll feel prepared, not scared. So talk with your family today.
Put the keys down, Kevin.
But I'm gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
I guess I have really been looking for love in this dating app. Yep, I'm definitely gonna call a ride home.
Welcome back, everyone, to Hockey Talk, the show made by hockey fans for hockey fans right here on WTOP. Alongside Mike Demars, I'm Rob Finger, and as we teased earlier, the New York Rangers faced off against the Detroit Red Wings last time out, and it was a pretty conclusive victory for the Rangers, but this time they headed back to the Motor City, and the Wings got a shot at redemption. Take a look. Sold-out crowd at Little Caesars Arena. Oswego grad Steve Levy had the call for this one, but we'll get things started in earnest. Midway through the first period, Wings trying to get it out. Laffy steals it, leaves it for Trocheck, looks across, finds Panarin, and the Breadman puts it past Cam Talbot. Wonderful cross-ice pass from Vincent Trocheck, and the Breadman finds the basket. Rangers on a power play. Trocheck to Artemi Panarin again. Up for the Fox. Back to Panarin. Walking himself. Rips one and scores. Artemi Panarin has his second goal of the game. Top chatter. 2-0 Rangers. Second period. Detroit needs one to stay in it. Rasmussen keeps it in. Lucas Raymond takes it deep. Looks over. Finds Kopfer. Sider driving. Then a shot scored. Moritz Sider keeps the Red Wings in this hockey game. Rangers power play again. Kreider cycles for the Breadman. Takes it up. Leaves it for Fox. Walks in deep. In tight for Kreider. Fox in the hole. Up top for Panarin again. Walks it. Shot. Scores! Not Panarin, but Vincent Trocheck, the playmaker, gets his loaf from the bread man. The Rangers power play once more. Those of you 21, take a shot whenever I say power play. That man, Vincent Trocheck, the Adam Fox, or the one and only bread man, Artemi Panarin. 3 loaves, if you please. Hat trick for number 10, his 8th trio of his career, and all the Rangers fans in the building toss them out. Head of the bakery makes it 4-1 Rangers. And Artemi Panarin with a point on every goal this evening so far, along with Vincent Trocheck, Adam Fox with 3 assists, and a final score after it's all said and done. 5-2 Rangers after goals from Victor Mancini and JT Compher. Round 2 of this original 6th rivalry goes to New York. And with 20 goals so far this season, it's their most through 4 games since the days of Brian Leach. Jonathan Quick leaves with a .900 night. And it's another good day to be a Rangers fan, isn't it, Mike?
It most definitely is. I'm loving the way the Rangers play. There's no doubt about it. They were definitely winning this one, especially since how the Red Wings, they're not doing anything impressive. So I'm really happy to see the Rangers come back and win against the Red Wings once again. And you mentioned Trocheck, you mentioned Panarin get the hat trick. But Mancini, he showed up. He got a goal in it, too. His first goal as a New York Ranger.
Oh, absolutely.
Drafted 2022, played with the Wolfpack. So I'm loving seeing these new guys showing up, getting some points in. You love to see it.
Oh, and especially for a Rangers team that has that sort of core right there, but hasn't necessarily been able to make that next step. They made it to the Stanley Cup. They made it to the conference finals anyway, and much to the chagrin and the sadness of a lot of people here in the Northeast, they did not win. But with this sort of young talent and with that core that they've got so far developing, they're still going to be essentially as dangerous as they always were. So it's amazing to see. And they also did have a game more recently against the Leafs as well.
Rangers versus Maple Leafs. The Rangers won 4-1. Matthews was the only scorer for the Maple Leafs, which you can take that information what you will about the Leafs in their situation right now. One thing I wanted to talk about also is the fan output at a lot of these games that the Rangers play.
Yeah, because you saw it right there. They were in Detroit, and there's Rangers fans in the building throwing their hats for Artemi Panarin.
It's beautiful to see. That's why I love this team so much. The fan base is just everywhere. It's not just limited to our area.
Oh, absolutely. So, now as for the other New York team, they took on a rising Montreal Canadiens team who, with their young core, have looked to surprise earlier in this season. This one went down to the wire, so take a look.
The edge in shots, but the Sabres have the only 2 goals.
Midway through the first, Sabres on the rush. JJ Peterka lugging it, hands it to Thompson, who scores! Tage Thompson putting the Sabres up early on the road, and what a rush it was from JJ Peterka. Carries it, drops it, and Tage Thompson rifles it home. Minutes later, blocked shot, leaves it for Clifton, tosses it, rebounds, buried by Malinston. Beck Malinston goes in off the toe of his skate, 2-0 Sabres. So we head to the second period. Chicago breaking out. Reichel cross the ice for Craig Smith. Walks, shoots, scores. Craig Smith fires it past UPL. Gets his first as Chicago Blackhawk, and he could not have aimed this one any better. 2-1 the score. A few minutes go by. Face off one below the goal line. Buffalo looks to break it out on the opposite side. Chicago steals it away, though. Here's Reichel again. Shot, save, rebound, score. Craig Smith again. 2-goal game for the veteran. Last minutes of the second. Sabres in the zone. Tage Thompson takes it. Protects it along those far boards. Looks back across. Finds Peterka, who scores. JJ Peterka. Tage returns the favor. And the Buffalo Sabres retake the lead thanks to their dynamic duo. And they would not relinquish it. An empty net goal from Ryan McLeod seals the deal. Buffalo wins 4-2 in the Windy City. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen leaves the ice with 35 saves on 37 shots and nearly .950 save percentage on the night. Wonderful performance from him on a night where the youth of Chicago couldn't get it done. Bedard leaves with a -1, and the stars of the Sabres shine through but they still have lots to do. That's just their second win of the season. But what a win it was for Western New York, Mike.
I'm sure everybody in Western New York and all Buffalo Sabres fans everywhere really appreciated it. And I didn't, because I really want all the New York teams that are not the New York Rangers to lose, because that means that makes our team look better. But how about that goalie, Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen?
Oh, absolutely.
That is
UPL.
a crazy name.
He's, like him and Devin Levi, if you're a Sabres fan, you gotta be really hyped for the future of goaltending in Buffalo. Unfortunately, I don't foresee it being quite like the days of Dominic Hasek or even Ryan Miller for that much. But still, like the combination of UPL and Devin Levi, who I believe is only in his second year as a Buffalo Sabre and in the NHL, both of them are looking like studs. And one of the things as well that I really like is Devin Levi. His pads are like a sort of like vintage brown, which I really
I
like.
noticed that.
It's really weird. Unfortunately, he wasn't in goal for this game, but Devin Levi as well. You have to love what's going on in Buffalo.
I love it. I love it when goalies get crazy with their equipment. It gives them a unique flair that we don't really see anymore. Like in the 70s and 80s, you saw it all the time, but now we don't really see it anymore.
I mean, one of the most famous goaltender masks of all time was Mike Richter with Lady Liberty right there on the top of his helmet, right here. It was amazing. But again, for the Buffalo Sabres as well, that duo of Tage Thompson and J.J. Peterka. Also, where did J.J. Peterka come out from? Where did they come from?
I feel like we had a discussion like this last episode. Where'd the player going? And
exactly.
It just accentuates how fast these players are.
It's amazing to see for Buffalo, and I'm actually really excited to see what they can do for the rest of the season. Well, fans, don't go away because we've got 2 more games to go over. One involving a sophomore year of a generational talent, and the other, a battle between champions. You won't want to miss it. We'll be back after this.
What's going on?
Yeah, we go on at like 11:30. It's like
no.
What do you mean no?
It's 10:30.
10:30?
Matt, it's 10:30.
What do you mean it's 10:30?
Hey, don't touch that. That's my ladder.
Hey, man.
Whoa.
You know this book was already discounted 10%?
Wow. Get a close-up of that one.
Matthew,
Look at that.
Can we go back inside? I want to sleep in the studio again.
We'll deep dive into our feelings in our Real Talk segment. Stay tuned because it's about to get real.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Major Discussions.
Welcome back to Hockey Talk here on WTOP, the show made by hockey fans for hockey fans. My name is Rob Finger with Mike DeMars right next to me. And this past Saturday, the New York Islanders went up to the city of the Saints, Montreal, the most, holy city in Canada anyway. And they played against the Montreal Canadiens, who have pretty good rising stars, in one notably, Cole Caulfield. Take a look. We've got all the highlights.
Ready to go, but right now,
UBS Arena is the site. The Islanders looking to take victory on home ice for the first time this season, but the Canadiens won't make it easy. We'll go to the first period. Dobson at the top. Hands it to Barzell. Walks it in. Horvat, shot, scores! First mark on the board goes to the Islanders. Bo Horvat buries it on a wonderful feed from Matt Barzal. 1-0 Islanders on the power play. Minutes later, Noah Dobson. Long for Palmieri in the zone. Shot, scores! Kyle Palmieri, the former Syracuse Crunchman, makes it 2 for the Islanders in just under 3 minutes. What an outlet pass from Noah Dobson. Right in and beats Primo stick side. Habs won it back though. 6 seconds left. Back for Matheson. Caulfield once, twice, and it's in. Cole Caulfield steeps his stick. Chaud Rouge. And boy, oh boy, does he love those shallow angle shots this year. Second period now. Montreal rushes in. Anderson puts one on, but it goes into the corner. Out to Mailloux, he scores! Logan Mailloux gets his first ever NHL goal, and he ties the score for the Bleu Blanc et Rouge. And a beautiful centering pass from Jake Evans in the corner. Last 5 of the third, J.G. Pajot into the zone. Shot, save, rebound, score! Anders Lee collides with Primo, puts it in, and the Islanders are back on top off a big 2-on-1. Matheson couldn't handle it, and Anders Lee gets the rebound. 2:15 left to go in the third. Habs won it back. Slaff in the zone. Hands it to Cole Ripper. Scores! Montreal's darling boy evens it up. We'd go to OT, but that wouldn't solve it. 9 rounds of the skills competition labor. Noah Dobson walks it. Scores! Noah Dobson gives the Isles the edge. Dekes it through the slot, beats Primo glove side, and it's all up to the Canadiens now. Logan Mailloux dekes it, goes backhand but lifts it wide. Game over from Queens. The New York Islanders win their home opener. Final score 4-3 after 9 rounds of a shootout. The Habs will return home with only a single point in spite of the performance of one Cole Caulfield, 2 goals in 1 game, and keeps his pace at a goal a game so far this season. And even if you're an Islanders fan, you have to respect the skill that Cole Caulfield showed in this one.
That's true. You know, I can hate on a team, but I can still respect a player. Not in the case of the Islanders, because I don't respect anybody on the Islanders. I don't care how good they are. I'm still not going to respect them.
Yeah, I mean, as a Rangers fan, that kind of comes with the territory,
Definitely.
Crosstown rivalry. That sort of thing.
That shootout at the end, though, that is crazy.
Oh, my goodness.
That reminds me of a game I saw, Rangers versus Bruins, a couple of years back, but it also went to 9 rounds. So I definitely get the sort of tense nature that comes with something like that. You just want the game to be over. You want to go home, but you have to watch this shootout because any moment, the dynamic can change. So.
Oh, yeah. And for people as well, like the fact that the Montreal Canadiens as well, that people thought that, oh, yeah, they're going to be like a little bit weaker. They're not going to be like playoff team. They took like an Islanders team that has a pretty dang good core all the way to a shootout and were able to steal a point away at the end of it to go towards their standings. Like, yes, they're third from the bottom of the Atlantic Division, but once, me as a Habs fan, like I'm going, once Patrick Laine comes back from his injury in a couple of months, in about December, January, that sort of thing, keep a lookout. The Canadiens are probably going to be like sneaking back up, trying to maybe steal away one of those like wild card spots. It's gonna be fun, and Cole Caulfield as well. A point per game, goal per game so far this season.
That's insane.
Oh, absolutely. Hopefully he keeps it up. Now, last Saturday, the 2 previous Stanley Cup champions were pit up against each other as the Florida Panthers hosted the Vegas Golden Knights down in Sunrise. Which championship team came out the victory? Have a look and find out. Sunny Florida plays host to a clash of the Titans as we get started in earnest. End of the first period. Bad turnover from the Cats. Knights pick it up, and Tanner Pearson roofs it past Samsonov. Vegas takes the lead off a defensive blunder. As we head to the second period, Panthers on the rush. Lundell tries to feed to the front, goes to the corner, but boom! Sam Reinhart whips a clapper shallow angle to tie the game. 5:50 to go. Vegas rushes in. Tanner Pearson whips it across. And Keegan Colasar is there to redirect it to the back of the net. 2-1 the score. Final minute of the second for Hagee. Leaves it for Lundell. Lundell gives it back. He finds Sam Bennett, who scores on the power play. The Cats even the score once more. Into the third we go. Vegas on the rush. Brett Howden steals it away and dekes across Chell style to put the Knights up once again. But the reigning champs are not to be defeated easily. Panthers win it back. Ekblad puts one on. Rebounds there. And Toulouse Turinen. We're going to go to OT. 30 seconds left. The Florida Panthers break it out. Forsling with speed. Here comes Forsling. Leaves it for Reinhardt. Bennett. Forsling scores! Overtime winner for Gustav Forsling. The battle of the champs came down to the wire, but the Cats claw back and take victory in Sunrise. The Florida Panthers take their throne at the top of the Atlantic Division, while the Vegas Golden Knights wallow in mediocrity. And my goodness, what a titanic battle that was, Mike.
Definitely. You know what? Mediocrity, that's the best way to describe the Golden Knights right now. They are just a very mediocre team, which is very depressing, especially since, definitely they're a newer team. But they looked really good their first couple of seasons, and, it's a little sad to see, but I don't really care that much about the Golden Knights.
The one team as well, their one term as well to characterize them is LTIR. NHL, please close that loophole. Please and thank you.
And I'm sure the Panthers, they really loved getting that win since one of their men was injured, Jonah Gadjevich. So I'm sure that he's happy that this team came out on top with him injured and all that good stuff.
Oh, as well. And it's really interesting to see the sort of dichotomy between these two who, again, both of them are the last two Stanley Cup championship winning teams. And they did it in, very different fashions. The Florida Panthers did it, very grittily, very, going in, getting it done, that sort of thing. And the Golden Knights just did it with, sort of gelling together, the whole team being that sort of skilled, not necessarily with, one person to point to, that sort of thing. And as well, their goaltender as well, I can never think of the name of, because it's literally, I think, the most generic name ever.
Something like that.
But still, this clash between two previous champions, it's amazing to see.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? The Panthers, they really surprised me, because I think going into this season, they didn't really impress me that much. I think, a lot of people were worried that, at least I was worried that, maybe the Panthers are not going to look as good, especially since they had such a really good run in the playoffs. But I was looking back at some of the scores, and they're actually doing pretty good for themselves going, for this season. So they kind of surprised me with that, and it's nice to see them win.
I guess. Unfortunately, even though they lost to the Buffalo Sabres, they did lose to the Buffalo Sabres. So, hey, anyways.
What does that say?
Now, as we get wrapped up here from the studio, we want to let you know what games to look out for here in the near future, tonight in particular, because every single NHL team is playing tonight.
What do we call it? The Frozen Frenzy. That is
absolutely.
Right. The New York Rangers are up 1-0 right now, actually, since they're playing the Montreal Canadiens. Mika Zibanejad. Let's go.
Listen. Cole Caulfield is going to, literally the entire Habs first line is going to get it back. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Sabres are currently taking on the Dallas Stars at KeyBank Center. This will be one to watch as two Central New Yorkers, Alex Tuck and Thomas Harley, are squaring up against each other in Upstate. MSG Networks has the game going on right now.
And this Friday, the teams either side of Manhattan will be facing off against each other as the New York Islanders take on the New Jersey Devils at the Rock in Newark. Once again, MSG Networks will have you covered for Puck Drop at 7.
And your Oswego State Lakers are back at it again this Saturday as they wrap up their pair of preseason games by hosting the Nazareth Golden Flyers this weekend right here at the Dab. Coverage will begin with the pregame show at 6:30 right here on WTOP. Now, who wins? Habs or Rangers? You know either of our answers. I think these guys are going to claw it back. Anyways,
I don't know about that one. Rangers all the way.
Well, thank you for joining us on an exciting edition of Hockey Talk, one where we finally have started the collegiate season. To all the crew, thank you immensely. We wouldn't be able to put on a show without you. To you, the viewers, we thank you for watching. I've been Rob Finger.
And I've been Michael DeMars.
And we'll see you next time on Hockey Talk.